So the first thing that you need to know is that Portland, Oregon might not be what you think it is. I'm gonna tell you 5 things that are real things that might be disguised as a negative, but also have a positive effect too. And the first thing is obviously the rain. I mean, yeah, Portland has a reputation for being pretty rainy. It's true, it does rain a lot here. Is it one of the most rainy places to live in the US? I mean, certainly one of them. We are up there as far as how many rainy days per year we get, but there are many places that get way more rain by volume. I'm looking at you, Hawaii. I mean, we all love Hawaii, don't we? If Portland is one of the most notoriously hated on cities in America, I think Hawaii might be the most unanimously loved places on the flip side. Point is that just because we clock in on the rainy Richter scale as above average doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, because it's not just all for naught. Like when it's finished raining here and you start walking around and looking in people's yards and seeing their gardens and walking around in the forest and checking out all the waterfalls, you'll be like, oh, okay, worth it. All that rain makes sense now. It's like the most beautiful place I've ever seen. And it's most of the time not even that persistent of a rain throughout the winter. It's mostly just here and there throughout the day, or even when you're just asleep. Then it just remains dreary more often than has water falling out of the sky. But then again, sometimes I find myself thinking, damn, it's more rainy than usual. What gives? One of the sacrifices you will need to make though, once the rain does go away and everything starts coming back to life, and all the flowers, trees, and grasses that emit pollen. Do you see where I'm going with this yet? You are going to have to get out the antihistamines, people, because goddamn is it allergy full here. Is that a word? Well, it is now. Come springtime, you'll be thanking the heavens for the sunlight, but then you'll also be cursing them for all those fine particles getting in your nasal passages. This personally doesn't affect me that much, but according to Pollen.com, Portland ranks among some of the absolute worst in the entire country. They have a scale that is 0 to 12, 12 being the worst place with the worst air quality thanks to pollen, and they give Portland a 9.1. With the highest score given at 10.8, that is tied between 6 cities, so that's pretty significant. Portland might be the type of place where I think even if you aren't necessarily susceptible to allergies like myself, that you still notice it sometimes. But you know, just stock up on some Claritin, invest in some good air purifiers, don't leave your windows and doors open during the middle of the day, restrict outings to the morning and evening only, wear a mask if you go outside during peak pollen times, vacuum your house incessantly, and clean your bed sheets often, and you'll be fine. You'll be ready to go out and hit the town and try out the many businesses and amenities Portland has to offer once you've taken care of your allergies, but might find that some larger businesses have had to close their doors in Portland. Yep, we're getting into the nitty-gritty here. You may have heard that places like Nike, Target, REI, and other major retailers of the sort have had to close some of their doors in the city of Portland. Now, before you get your panties in a bunch and start typing up that comment like, I told you Portland was fucked, if they had to close the Starbucks down, things must be out of control. I'm not going. Hey, take a chill pill. Yes, there's certain areas where certain businesses have closed because of crime, ongoing theft to be exact. Go ahead and speculate in the comments why theft has increased in certain parts of Portland, but chances are you could still go to one of these stores somewhere else. If you're in Southeast Portland, for example, you could have access to the Target that's still open near Mall 205, or the REI down in Clackamas, or there's still basically every other store you could need in some close by suburb of Portland. To put it into context, you'd probably spend about the same amount of driving time from the middle of Southeast Portland to the Clackamas stores as you would have to the downtown locations. So as far as your experience of living here, not really much has changed. The main areas that have been affected by these closures are in the inner parts of town and downtown, to be honest, but I'm not really supposed to get into crime and different areas that are worse than others as a realtor, but when it comes to smaller businesses, I've actually noticed a lot of new spots slowly starting to open. Just within the last half year or so, I've seen at least 4 new businesses on my street alone. There's a new pizza place as well as a new ice cream place right up the street from my house. So while it's anecdotal, this stuff is happening all over the city despite bigger stores closing their doors on the inner parts of the city. That's pretty cool if you ask me. Now, if you're still watching, it must mean that you have some interest in living here in Portland, And so we gotta talk about some home prices if that's the case. It's a pretty common complaint here that the cost of a home, whether you are renting or owning, is too damn high. Since Portland is split pretty close to right down the middle between renters and homeowners, we're gonna talk about both real quick. Now, the average price to rent an apartment is right around $1,700. So if you're a single person though, and you're trying to rent a place, you should be able to find a room for rent in a house somewhere for well below that, maybe even below 1,000. And I recommend poking around Craigslist for those types of opportunities. If you're planning to buy a home, however, the median home price is right around $530,000. Now, depending on who you are and where you are watching this video from, those numbers will either make you go eek or not bad. That's one of the pros or cons of this place that are subject to every individual, because compared to the national average, Portland is considerably more expensive to buy a home in. However, if you live in another expensive city or even any other major city on the West Coast, for example, you will find that Portland is still currently the last affordable bigger city on the West Coast by comparison. Real estate prices are over half the price for similar quality homes in cities like San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and even our sister city to the north, Seattle. And the bang for your buck that you get here is no comparison. You get cleaner air, smaller and a more manageable city, some of the most beautiful nature in the whole country, tons of walkable and bikeable neighborhoods, and it's only getting better. So if you haven't been scared away by those real estate prices and are thinking of moving here to Portland and plan to buy a home, I've got to just say that if you enjoy my content and think we would work well together, I would absolutely love to help with that purchase and with your move here. You'll be able to find all my contact information right down below this video, so make sure you reach out via call, text, email, or just scheduling a video call would be totally fine as well. People from all over the place find these videos and get in touch whether they are moving in the near or distant future, and so now it's your turn, so get in touch today. All right, now that I've got that out of the way, I feel like it's kind of appropriate to just address the fact that the secret's out about Portland. This is also a common complaint against stubborn locals that too many people are moving here, and that's just what happens when a lot of people realize how great of a place it is. There are many benefits to living in Portland, including the quality of life, real estate prices compared to where other people are moving here from, the nature, the walkability of most neighborhoods, the incredible food, drink, and coffee scene, and many other compounding factors that make moving here kind of a no-brainer. Now, the higher demand of this city has no doubt posed some challenges and consequences directly caused by the influx of people coming here. For example, traffic has gotten a lot worse in recent years. Is it as bad as LA or Bay Area or New York City? Absolutely not, but it's getting bad going certain ways at certain times. Or you might, I don't know, have to wait a little bit longer for a table at your favorite brunch place. Or God forbid, it might be a little bit harder to find a place to park. But the fact of the matter is that more people moving here means more foot traffic, which means more business for the local businesses, which means more local businesses will continue to start to open, and we'll be well on our way to a slightly more crowded but thriving city. That said, if you want to learn more about some of the walkable neighborhoods of Portland, I'd highly recommend checking out this video right here, where I talk about some of the most walkable and some of the least walkable neighborhoods around the city. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you over there.